hope everyone's doing well and welcome back to another weekly outlook. Now, apologies once more, a late upload. No recording issues this time, but I've been out of London practically the whole weekend, so I've got back and I knew I had to just get it done in time. Hopefully, you guys will be able to watch this in the morning. There's not much going on the Monday, anyways, right? We're not really expecting anything crazy. Just quickly going through the week. Tuesday, we've got a bunch of orange folders for the US dollar to watch out for. Not much on the Wednesday. Thursday, we have the bigger move on GDP. And then on the Friday, PCE price index is the only thing that really stands out. Aside from that, not much in the week overall, right? Now, if we come over to our charts, thankfully, what has happened, despite a very funny week from here, right, moving against the expectations, we had a very strong move down on the Friday. We'll actually use the capital feed, right, because this one has a bit of a weird wick. Yeah, so cool. What you guys can see is consolidation, kick down, and we really like that kick down because what that's done for us is cemented that sort of wick in the premium, and we also have a previous weekly high sweep. So this week that's coming out, obviously to end of the month, we expect a continuation, especially with the monthly candle rise closed very nicely. I believe it will also set up September. Well, I say it's closed nice, it's not closed yet, but I'm hoping it will close nicely as well. And on the weekly, I'm really expecting price to kick down this way, which is exactly what we wanted, right? This is all, I believe, we had the Jackson Hole Symposium. I forgot exactly what it's called, news on Thursday or Friday rather. Because it's a multi-day event, it lasts more than one day, and Powell's come out and said something about rate cuts or something along those lines. I don't have the specifics off the top of my head, but essentially that's what's called the kick on DXY. What we like to see here, very similar. We spoke about this last week, this exact scenario, previous weekly high sweep into the premium, into the order block, move away, exactly what we've got so far, and we anticipate continuation to the downside to then push the DXY these equal lows, and then of course further sell side targets as well. Now this chart's still not amazing. We have swept into that, or very, very slightly swept into that fair value gap, but I'd consider these like equal lows. They still are in the market. Price is in a bit of a funny situation where it can go either way. I think we spoke about this last time as well, once more. It's a big consolidation building. We did anticipate, we've had a sweep, price may move this way, but the odds are we got a premium of the consolidation and come back down. And that's what we'll stand by for now. There's nothing major to, give us a reason for price to kick either way, just for the time being. I think it will continue to build a consolidation here. Now, let's talk about pairs we're actually interested in. So USDCAD, we spoke about having a position, right, and the position we had was on the daily chart, with this being the stop loss. It's actually been taken out. Price has dug very deep into that premium. Now, well, the major reason for this is, first of all, is that CAD inflation, which we needed to come in hot, be higher than expectations, came in cold across the board, which meant, of course, it got weaker, and therefore USD CAD shorts weren't really viable. Because for USD CAD shorts, ideally we want a weak DXY and a strong CAD, right? From here now, what can we anticipate and what can we plan for is that we've had a very nice close, like very good kick on the daily, very good weekly close, and we'd hope to see that continue. We want to see price kick this way. Now, because of the news that most recently came out, USD CAD may not be a leading pair, right? What instead might happen is the pairs that have already given an even better kick may continue to head lower. Now, one trade idea that I really like the looks of is we have a sweep in this internal consolidation, taking these equal highs and then massive kick down. So if we can get a 4-hour OTE over here in USDCHF, it may not be a bad shot at all. I really like the looks of this. If you go on the daily chart, previous daily high sweep, order block created, I really wouldn't expect this to, get violated, this high over here. I really would anticipate that this holds and we head lower from there. And lastly, of the majors at least, very similar on USDJPY. Note this consolidation, swept the consolidation high, kicked down lower, and we've got a 4-hour range very similar to USDCHF. The only big difference is USDCHF kicked further, whereas USDJPY failed to break the lows. So of course I'll still stand by USDCHF, you know, the Swiss franc still being the better option here for the time being, right? CAD, I'm still not interested in. If we go off the sentiment set by the CAD news in regards to the inflation, there's a good chance it might be a lagging pair versus USDCHF. Nothing to add on gold at the moment. Unfortunately, nothing that I'm really interested in. Well, quickly, you know what? We'll take a look at Euro USD as well. We've not taken a good look at this in a little while. See, good weekly close, very similar to DXY. Good kick up last week, previous weekly low sweep and kick up. And from here, really, I wouldn't expect this previous weekly low to go. We swept the previous weekly low last week and kicked up. Good chance that, you know, there may be potential for a setup here. Just something to consider. A very nice move sweeping the sell side of the consolidation and then immediate kick up. So we could possibly play this range with price and look for higher prices as well. Something to consider. This and USDCHF is where I'd have my eyes for now. S&P. Previous weekly low sweep. Not surprised we mentioned this exact scenario last week. If we come down, we'll come down into the previous swing. If we dig a bit deeper, then I'll watch the previous weekly low. But we can see previous weekly low swept, kick up higher, pushing towards the high. Now, the odds are that we continue building the range, especially off a weekly close like this. You anticipate the next week to trade higher. We're expecting a lower DXY. It makes a lot of sense for a higher S&P. And lastly, but not least, I believe with a bit of a big move today. A quick look. We had two scenarios to consider. It looks like we're going for the second scenario, which is from this high, rather this low to this high, and seeing a larger retracement on the weekly because the first retracement failed to hit the discount, and past that we had a 4-hour market maker sell model over here, which has led us into the discount, and from here now there's a lot of fear in the market. The market is definitely a bullish one considering what we're expecting on the S&P and DXY and whatnot. So I believe this is manipulation. I do want to see price dig a little bit deeper. The odds are we can probably kick towards, you know, around this mark, the sort of 100 to 110k mark, somewhere in here. And from there, look for that move higher back towards all-time highs is what I'd be looking for. But yeah, guys, pretty simple weekly outlook today. I feel like we have a very solid direction and expectation of what's to come next week, which isn't exactly what we had last week. So it's not a bad position to be in. We've got two key pairs that we're looking at, which is USDCHF and Euro USD. And potentially some of the other pairs may also continue to develop and give us chances if we're right on our direction this week. But yeah, guys, that is it for the weekly outlook. As usual, any questions at all, anything I can help with, please just drop me a message.